Hello, everyone, and welcome to Veterans in Crisis podcast. Today we have Chris Lewis, and Chris is going to explain why he's walking around the whole of the UK. Hiya, Chris.
Hello, how are you, mate? All right?
I'm all right, mate. So, the first time I heard about you was 2 days ago when one of my clients said that you were walking around the UK and you were a veteran and you were coming to Sunderland. So we reached out and asked you if you wanted a kip at the ERV for a night rather than a tent. So how was it?
Yeah, and a good kip it was. I tell you, I could still be asleep now, mate. First time we slept in a bed for a long time.
Was it? Well, it's not funny because early on when you came down, you said you slept on a roll mat on the floor.
I know.
I told you that was a pull-out bed.
We're quite soul destroyed about that, to be honest with you. But so just back to your question.
Yeah, just fill us in on why it all started.
Yeah, no worries. So I was in the parachute regiment. I was X2 para. And as soon as I come out with the parachute regiment, a few years after, I became a single parent. And cut a long story short, I think things had just got on top of me. I wasn't happy, clearly depressed. And my daughter had eventually flown the nest. She went down to Bournemouth to go to college and then to go to university. And, things just weren't good, for myself. I wasn't in a happy place. So I knew that I just needed to do something drastic. And it was a really, on the cuff sort of decision to just go and walk the entire coastline of the United Kingdom. I thought about it, and just a few days later, I set off and I left. So I'm just about to come into my 5th year of walking. So we've been actually, when I say we, I've obviously now adopted a dog and I've got my girlfriend, but I started on my own. I had a tenner, 2 days worth of rations, and set off up the west coast of Wales, into England, then into Scotland, did Northern Ireland, did all of the Hebrides, back onto the west coast of Scotland, then to the north coast of Scotland. And I went to the Northern Isles then, which is Orkney, its islands, Shetland, all of its islands. And then started heading down the east coast into England, which is where we are currently now. I'm literally heading into my 5th year of walking in 2 days, which is insane. But SAFA, the Veterans Charity, really helped me when I needed it. So I really wanted to give something back to them. It was an absolute no-brainer to do it for them. It's just gone better than I ever thought. We're up to nearly £206,000 raised for them so far. And probably still got about a year to go yet. But,
so is there a link that people can donate?
Yeah, it's all on my you can go, if you're on Facebook or Instagram, Twitter or anything like this, it's Chris Walks the UK. It's all on there, and there's a link at the top of the page to donate. So it's all there.
Oh, well, hopefully you get some donations from this, mate.
So thank you.
It's absolutely mental that it's going to be 5 years that you've been walking. 5 years. I
know, yeah.
VICS, the way VICS is now, it hasn't been running 5 years. So it's only just been running as a community interest company for 3 years. So
wow.
To think that you've been walking longer than that, this whole thing's been happening.
When you're the one who's doing it, I suppose I very much adopt the attitude of just take one day at a time, which is a really good thing to do, doing something like this. But what really puts it into perspective is we do a lot of talks with schools and all that kind of thing. And, when I see a bunch of school kids that are 10 years old and I say to them, we've been walking since you were 5 years old, the look on their face is unreal. I think it's then that it's put into perspective how long this has been going on. But for me, day by day, I wouldn't say it's a job. Well, it is kind of a job, but it's more of a lifestyle. We predominantly sleep in a tent, and I've been in some pretty rough places during winters. I was in the Outer Hebrides for a winter.
Scotland?
Well,
yeah. Does it get much rougher than that, mate?
Well, the worst of all, mate, was Shetland in the winter. Blimey, that's a different ball game altogether. On my first night, my tent was just obliterated by 90-mile-an-hour winds. Crazy place.
So have you, as other people took you in and give you a bed or let you camp in the garden or anything?
Yeah. I mean, this, I started this just, like I said, on my own. Nobody knew what I was doing. But, we've racked up like 80,000 followers just on Facebook. And I mean, the support that we're getting through every town and every city that we come into now is quite unbelievable, to be honest with you. One of the things that I really found hard before I left for this was I wouldn't say the rat race, but just the busyness of life. You know, I've always been a kind of more chilled out, just, you know, one day at a time kind of person. And like, I didn't enjoy it at all, but doing this has really shown me that there are so many people out there that are just so nice, just like yourself, you know, that just genuinely want to help, that go out of their way to want to help other people. And I think that's something that I really enjoy showing off on my page, you know, is people that just want to help all the time. And, you know, it's, like I said, it's just like yourself, an absolute credit to you for putting yourself out, for doing something that, you know, to help other people. I think it's incredible.
It's exactly what we feel like, because VICS wouldn't work if it wasn't for the public helping us, you know. So
Yeah,
and like, it's the whole city got behind us, so that's why
that's
it works, you know. And
yeah,
every day I'm amazed that people go out of the way and do stuff. People drop
yeah.
stuff off all the time for us to give away.
It
People
is
give us
something
money
else.
and stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It is. And like, you know yourself firsthand. Obviously, you're the one who has to put the effort into it, but, you know, people do gravitate towards people that just are willing to go out of their way to help. And yeah, there's a lot of good people out there. There really is, you know, regardless if, you know, we're going through tough times and there's a lot of negativity going on, but, you know, behind the scenes, there's some amazing people.
You're always going to get negativity. It doesn't matter what you do. You know, there's always someone going to complain. Always.
Absolutely.
You know,
you just got to brush it off the shoulders, mate.
Yeah, of course you have. The way I get away with it is I try not to believe the hype when people say a good thing about us. So then when someone says something bad about us, it doesn't matter as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
The only way I can deal it, if I just keep it quite level, you know, not too happy, not too sad. Then people are going to moan on that. So
it's one of those, isn't it? Unfortunately, just let them, because, you know, they're probably the ones that aren't happy, sadly enough.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think the frustration gets taken out on people. You know, I get what we call trolls, you know, and I'm doing, you know, really working hard for doing this, just as you have, but I still get people that are negative, you know, and I actually wish that I could just go down there and give them a hug, because I think they're probably the ones that need the help.
Yeah, and I wasn't even on social media before I started VICS, so it's sort of come a bit of a surprise to us the way people are, you know.
Yeah.
But there's more nicer people, and I've got trolls. I don't even know if it's called trolls or trolls, but I've got some, you know what I mean. But you see, you know, they're the ones that's unhappy. I'm not sitting at home thinking about them. I don't know why they're sitting at home thinking about me, to be honest.
No, exactly, mate. You're the one out there doing something, so, you know, all credit to you.
So what can I must ask you this, because I've been wanting to ask you this since we met. Did you have a beard when you started?
Certainly not like this. I did have a bit of stubble. I mean, I have trimmed it and stuff, you know, through my journey, but when I was in Shetland, I just thought, you know what, sod it, it'd be interesting to see how much it grows. By the time, it was definitely less grey until I met my girlfriend Kate.
I've got a daughter called Kate, that's why I'm grey.
I promise you, it's a different Kate.
So how did that come about then? How, like, obviously you're walking around, then you just get a girlfriend?
I know, it's quite unreal. I mean, firstly, I adopted my dog Jet, so I got her on the west coast of Scotland. She belonged to a family that were just unable to have her anymore. And I was just about to start doing the Hebrides in the islands, and I thought, you know, it'd be great to have some company. So she's been with me for 3.5 years. But Kate, I just finished the winter in Shetland, and I was coming down the east coast, just near Wick, which is the northeast coast of Scotland. And yeah, I was camping one night, and this lovely girl just came down and started chatting to me and stuff. And she was only there for 5 minutes. But obviously I made an impression, because she came back about 40 minutes later with some fish and chips and a beer. We just spent the whole evening chatting and stuff, and we just got on, kind of kindred spirits in that respect. And a couple of months later, she just gave everything up, pretty much like I did, and said, right, I'm going to come and walk the rest of the UK with you. So she's been with me now for, a year. Amazing woman, really.
It's an amazing story, man. Somebody might make a film about you.
I think I should get her to come and say hello. Come here, darling. Oh, she's embarrassed now.
No, don't be embarrassed, man.
You
all right?
Hiya.
All right. So, what's your experience been like then in the year that you've been walking?
Yeah, so
obviously amazing.
pretend he's not here, and then tell the truth.
I joined him in November, so it was quite, difficult to come straight into a Scottish winter. So obviously I'd been living in a house before that with central heating and all of the comforts of sort of living in a house. And then to come up to Scotland, to the East Coast, where it was sort of -17 at times, and just be camping out for 3.5 months. I mean, that's been the toughest.
The violin's playing.
Oh, we've got a tiny violin. We've got a tiny violin down here. We'll play it for you.
ridiculous. No, I mean, that's been the toughest time, I think, for me to get used to that cold and not being able to move through it, because it was lockdown, just, you know, being still the whole time and having to find things to do to keep us warm, to keep us busy every day when we couldn't walk. But that said, you know, I did love that experience, and I'll always have amazing memories of that woodland where, you know, Chris and I found logs and built a shelter. You know, we spent every day for a month really doing some hard graft to build a shelter and things like that in the snow. So yeah, I think probably that the extremes of the weather have been the most challenging thing, but it's just been amazing. You know, it's such an incredible adventure where every day is, you just never know what's around the corner, who you're going to meet, you know, where you're going to wake up every day, what amazing sights you'll see. And I love that about it.
I think Kate just touched on a good point there as well, you know, and I'm sure this is relevant to what you're doing. Is, you know, during the lockdown, we obviously stayed outside and slept in the woods and stuff, but it's that sense of purpose, you know, just keeping going and having something to do every single day and just having something to focus on. That's what really helped us get through that. And I think that pretty much values throughout anything. You know, if you're having a tough time, it really is just finding that sense of purpose and you know, I suppose having the heart to see it through. And I think that's really important. So I think that's a good point made there.
Yeah.
Have you been documenting it? Like, just, I was thinking, like, for obviously you could write a book after.
Yeah, totally. You know, we've been offered, you know, publishers and stuff like this to write a book, and I think I'd be stupid not to do it. You know, I was never in this for money or anything like that, but yeah, I think it'd be stupid not to do it. And obviously we document this through via social media and stuff, so I can look back to the very first day that I started and reflect on that, as can Kate. And yeah, I mean, I think it's important to document something like this because, you know, we put up nice photos every day and stories of kind people and stuff like that, but it's not always the case. You know, this is hard work. I mean, it's raining today and we have to go straight out into the rain, so you know, it's not easy.
Yeah, you didn't have to go out in the rain, mate. You can stay here. You know? No one's kicking you out. No one's kicking you out. You're all right there. And then you might realise the settee's a bed. Then, mind you.
I don't know who's the idiot, the one who didn't tell us or the one who didn't work it out.
I told you. So yeah, if you wrote a book and then it got made in a film, who do you reckon you would want to play it? You?
Well, I mean, I'd say Tom Hardy, but he's just not hard enough.
What about you?
No, well, the irony is we have actually spoken to people about this. We've spoken to somebody who works in Hollywood and all these places who started up their own company here in the UK, and they actually talked about wanting to make a film. So we're in the process of liaising with them. But you know, I made it quite clear if anyone can play it, I'd like to play myself.
Fucking right, man. Yeah, get the money out of it, mate. Get the money out of it.
I'll do, yeah.
He has actually got some quite good acting skills, I will give it to him. Yeah. I mean, who better to play you than you?
I know, I have to act every day to pretend that I'm happy.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not the only man in the country to do that, mate, I tell you. Yeah, I tell you what though, I have a friend who has his own production company in and he's a veteran. So I'll put you in touch with him. So
yeah, please do. Amazing.
He's made Hollywood films and all sorts.
Oh wow! Well, yeah, I'd love that. Yeah,
so,
please do.
I mean that, and his this is how you might get to play yourself. When he started his new production company, he's made a certain percentage have got to be veterans that work on the set. You know, just
yeah, put us in touch.
Yeah, I will. I'll definitely put you in touch. Definitely.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Is there anything you want to get out to everyone before we stop talking?
Well, do you know, if there's anything that I could really say, you know, this is to those who may watch this that are veterans or people just having a hard time. You know, there's so many people in similar positions. I think the most important thing is to reach out and you know, speak to other people. You know, there's nothing nicer than being put in a room full of people that feel the same way you do about life, and that can really help. I think it's really important. And you know, just if you're listening, I suppose, just don't give up. And you know, things can get better. I'm a perfect example of this. You know, I went through the whole process, drugs, you know, depression, anxiety, all of that, and I really didn't see any future, if that made sense. But here I am now, you know, probably one of the happiest people that you'll ever meet, and that was all because I gave myself a sense of purpose. And you know, if somebody is listening, then all I'd say is, you know, try and find that thing and stick with it. You know, it can change.
Excellent. And we'll if you want to, we could do this once a month or once every 6 weeks or every 2 months,
Whatever you want.
and
My pleasure.
and we can sort of like track your progress.
Yeah, I'd love that. Honestly, I would.
And also, breakfast's nearly done, so I'll be bringing it up. Okay.
Excellent. I was hoping we'd get something out of this.
But I'll speak to you soon. All right. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you so much. Yeah, really nice chatting to you.
Thank you.
Cheers, bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.